Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Husqvarna T435 top panel chainsaw. Customer complaint is that it won't start. Okay, it didn't pop or burp or fart or nothing. And we're going to check here to see if we have spark or not. There's a little protective cap over the top of the spark plug, single screw to remove that. Put our tester on here. Yeah, it doesn't have any spark. So we'll dig a little bit deeper into this no spark situation. Clean up the stuff we knocked on the floor. In order to gain access to the ignition module itself, the starter has to come off. So there was one screw on top of the handle that we want to remove. There is a screw on the bottom of the handle, but we can leave that on there and the handle and the starter will come off together. We got our fan shroud. And it looks like the kill switch has been disconnected from the coil, so maybe he's dug into this already. But that's good that that's off of there, because now I know that the kill switch wasn't the reason that it didn't have spark. So we got to get our grounding wire off. There we go. Let's take a look at this spark plug. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why that plug shouldn't have been firing. We are just going to go with the assumption that the ignition module is bad. Now, when you remove this module, be careful because there's two little plastic bushings, or spacers, whatever you want to call them, on top of the cylinder head between the cylinder and the ignition module. And you don't want to lose them. Keeps the spacing correct on the module to the flywheel. We have our new ignition coil here. And it looks the same. I think I was looking at part numbers and that's what had me a little confused. Maybe this one's a super session, or maybe I was expecting a super session. I'm not sure, I don't remember. So we're going to bolt down the ignition coil. And this one here has the grounding tab on it, so we don't want to forget that. A couple of long-winded screws on here. But we'll get them drawn down close. And then we'll find our feeler gauge and set the air gap. We just put the gauge in between the module and the flywheel. Let the magnets draw the module up to the flywheel. And then snug down the screws. Okay, looks good. Now we got our wires from our kill switch. There's a little slot in the housing there that you want to make sure the wires are running through that slot so we don't pinch them off. Push one wire onto the module, the other wire onto the ground lug. I usually run a new spark plug when I put a new module in. I'm not going to in this case. Alright, we're going to push the plug wire, the plug boot onto the spark plug. And this thing's going on hard. You know, I thought that maybe the terminal inside the boot was crooked in there or something. It's not. It's just going on really hard. So we're going to put a little bit of dielectric grease on that boot, just so it slides on there easier. We're going to need a new tube of grease here pretty soon. And the way this thing with the starter on there, the way it's kind of tucked away inside there, if you tried removing this wire with the starter in place, you're going to be tugging on the wire pretty hard, especially if it's hanging up. Alright, we got our fan shroud in place. We're routing our plug wire. Everything looks good. Might as well put this plastic plug protector in place while we can. And then we'll drop our starter on top. Four screws on the starter. And don't forget that screw there. So we're going to see if this thing's going to start, and if it does, then that's all I'm going to have for you on the Husqvarna T435 top panel chainsaw ignition module replacement. Thanks for watching. Later.